Hi and welcome back to my layout. I'm Charlie and this is what will be named Partick Hill Station after an area in Glasgow where I grew up. It's not going to be anything like it, but I'm just using the name. So today we're going to be looking at some tips and tricks, some bargains that I picked up at the dollar store, and where the layout is at the moment, the progress that I've made, what I have to do to complete the two main lines on the table, and how I'm going to get there, and then some serious trains running, some of which you may or may not have seen before, and I'm trying to give a variety of running in each of these sessions. So sit back and enjoy, get your cup of tea, and we'll catch up later. Here's another little bargain that I found at the dollar store. Now this was $1.75 for these tweezers. Different shapes, some of you may be familiar with them, so keep your eye out at the dollar store or pound store for something like this. They'll come in very handy for modelling. I have a rake of these. Now these are the Airfix Kits. I purchased these from somebody a number of years ago, and they'd done a good job of painting it, and they added in this coupling which works. It's not perfect, but it does work, and this is a nice addition to what I have, and I can pull them with a Diesel or a steam loco, which is appropriate for sort of 60s period, and this is also weighted, which is nice, and it runs very well. I picked up this bag of Scottish pink ballast when I was at the Model Rail Scotland show, and I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going to apply it. I don't think I want to ballast everything. I may just ballast in between the tracks at different locations. A nice sort of orangey pink colour. And as you can see, I've done a little bit of work on my Airfix figures, and they're certainly coming to life and would look good on any platform. As I said, you don't need to be an artist or create any great detail. You just have to suggest, and I think that's what we've been able to do here. So only using a few colours appropriate for the time period. I think they look pretty good. I also have a number of refrigerated or fish vans, as they may have been known as. I think these were, once again, kit forms. Some of them may have been other kind of wagons which had been painted white to look as if they were refrigerated paint vans. But here's one that I did a little bit of additional work on and just weathered it up a bit. All I did was use a watered down ink to give it that more used appearance, and so from a distance it looks well used. In terms of the layout, I've made a number of changes. I've added in additional points, which now gives me, as you can see, 4 tracks going through the station. Not quite finished that yet. I may look for an extra couple of pieces of straight platform to extend it out on both sides here, and possibly one more in there. Not really sure about that, but round about this location I will probably start the tunnel. It will come around to about here. It comes round into the 2 main tracks, as you may have seen before, and then on the downside I've got a spur line coming off here that will take traffic straight across to the other side. But I've also added in some loco sidings, which will give me a bit of space for storing locos. Now, I thought you'd like to see that one. We'll see this running at another time, but that's a beautiful piece of engineering. So what I have is I've got the main downline looping around. We'll join back up over there. I'm waiting on some points coming in from rails, left-hand points, and hopefully that will solve that. I've also got 2 storage lines in here, which will enable me to store a couple of trains waiting. And then for the downline, once again I've done the same thing. I've got 1 track going all the way around, and then I've got 2 tracks for storage. There's another example of a 210 well weathered. So as you can see, things are coming together, and as I said, I've been able to get these trains running, and we'll show you them later. I'm still working on servicing a number of locos which haven't been doing that well, giving me some issues. And you know, the biggest problem I've been having, as I've said before, is the tender driven locos. And I've got a couple of nice A4s which are giving me a lot of grief in terms of not running, running intermittently, or just failing to proceed completely. And even this Princess here, I need to do a little bit of work on that one. Now, this little 040, I made this little tender with the bicycle in it, fabricated that by hand, and it was from an article I'd seen, Railway Modeller or one of these magazines years ago, and it worked out really good. I'm very happy with that. And of course there's my whiskey train. I've got a variety of these. These ones have got the different type of couplings which don't go well with the Triang Hornby couplings, so I may have to use a separate train for those ones, and that would give me 2 grain trains, and probably haul it with one of these. This one doesn't have any couplings on it at all, so I have to figure out something for this one. And here's the other grain train with the Triang couplings on it. I'm having a problem with this one because it runs off the track, and I'm not really sure why. It may be because there's a piece of plastic missing from the chassis that allows the motor to rotate and the bogie to rotate, so I need to do a bit of extra work on that one. But yeah, it's certainly coming together, and it's looks much more like a model railway, given I can run 2 trains at any given time and have some stored either in the station or in the sidings down at the other end. So we'll get to running trains in a minute, and I hope you enjoyed these little explanations that I gave you. One thing is, I remember seeing someone talking about a Lima shunter, the 060, and this is in fact the Lima 060 that the person was speaking about, and it runs quite well. It's a bit on the light side, but it does run well, and maybe a little bit of added weight will certainly assist it. So you'll probably see that one running too. Anyway, so let's run some trains. Well, thanks for joining in and visiting today. I hope you enjoyed the little introduction of the tips, tricks, and the general updates to the layout, as well as the numerous trains I had running, which I'm very happy about, because it was frustrating for a while trying to get things organised, and I'm just waiting, as I pointed out, for a couple of points coming in from Rails of Sheffield, which will enable me to get those other two lines tied into the down line, which means I'll have lots of storage for trains both in the siding or the fiddle yard and in the station. Anyway, once again, thanks for dropping by. If you're interested in my 3D printer, I'll just show you quickly what the setup is there. So as you can see on the left here, I have my monoprice printer and an older laptop and a separate monitor, and I can download 3D model files, open it up in Cura, which is a free software package that you can download, put it onto a microchip, which then gets loaded into the printer. So please don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe, ring that bell, whatever appears there, and drop by again, see what else I have out from underneath the tables, and check up here and here. Maybe there'll be other videos that you might find interesting. Thanks very much. Bye for now.